Hi, I created C++ file for this modules. For this module, I created a console-based to-do list manager. The program allows the users to add a task, mark as completed, remove the task, and save the task to effects file. At the top of the program right here, this shop included, which mean is actually the library brings out, which is like a output back, inputs and the vectors for the steel data structures, string for the file, reading and writing, and string for the task descriptions. Here, this is class task, the private and public. This code shows the one task is to-do list. It has like a two private member variables, description and completed. The description stores the task text and completed stores whether the task is finished or not. The classes also had like public method get description returns the task description is completed returns whether the task is done and mark completed changes the task is completed. And start with the add task right here. This functions is as a new tasks to the task list, as a user to enter the task description, then it creates a new task object as task and adds into the vector using the pushback. In here is the STL data structure requirement. I use the vectors of the task object to store it. All the task in the vector is useful here because the user can add and then remove the task while the program is running. And the show task on this function displays the current task. It files it first uses any if statements to check if the vector is empty. If there's no task, it prints no task is founded. Otherwise, it will use a loop for to go through the vectors and display each task. And the mark completed function. There you go. Mark task completed. It first call the show task to this so the user can see the current task list. Then the user enters the task number. The if statement checks if the number is valid. If it is valid, the program calls mark completed on the task. And the remove task here, this function removes the task from the vector. It displays the task line list first, asks the user for a task numbers, checks if the number is valid, and then removes that to the task using erase. And for the stretch, I did the save task functions. It writes the task list to the text file. For each task, it saves completed status and task description and the load task. This functions. It uses a while loop to read a file line by line, and it separates the completed status from the description and then asks task back into the vector. The most importantly, the main functions right here. The main function controls the program. It creates the vector of the task calls and then load the task to the load the save data from the file. Then it uses while loop to keep the program running until the user chooses option 5. Inside a while loop, the program uses if and else statement to decide what functions to run, 1, 2, or 5, and see which one function you use it. And now I already run this, and if I run this one, like add task, I can add tasks like modules, and then if I want to remove what's completed, I can remove that, and then if I want to save it, I can say save file to text file. You can see there's a task came out. That's my demonstration, and thank you so much.